and welcome. Happy Sunday. Welcome to my first build. Wow, we've got off to a great start. Welcome to my first speed build in a very, very long time. I have missed you all incredibly. I'm so grateful to be back. I did come back recently to do the overview video for Tiny Twavellers, but that was kind of different because I kind of had to stick to the script and showcase everything, and I knew that was going to be a long video and I had to make sure I stayed on track with it. So I'm just happy to have this one where I can ramble as per usual, give you little updates and stuff, what to expect, all that good stuff. But yes, this is the first build. It's called Bridgewater, and it is basically the build that is going to showcase what Tiny Twavellers actually looks like in-game, used in a fully functional house. As always with all of my custom content builds, you can find a link in the top line of the description box, which is going to take you to the Tumblr post where you can download this. Now, just a quick note about a few items in the Tiny Twavellers that I noticed we had to remove the footprint for the canopies, the bed tent, and also, what else did we do? There was one other, and the bed frames. We removed them so that you could place them without having moved objects on. Now, I think as a result, when you don't have a footprint, it doesn't register as an object when you upload it to the gallery. So I noticed that those items are missing from builds. So I'm not too sure if I can bypass that by suggesting that you download the tray files. I'll put an extra note. I haven't checked it out yet, but hopefully, I don't know if we maybe might put the footprint back for the general release, maybe. I'm not too sure, because I kind of like having the item there and you not having to place the canopy every time you download one of my builds. So if you download this from the gallery, you will be missing the bed frames and the canopies and the tents. You'll need to put them back in. Yeah, so I suggest maybe doing the tray files. I think that bypass it. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Actually, why would it bypass it? I don't know. But yeah, I think we're going to probably add the footprint back in, so you'll have to move objects on to use those items. Yeah, so I'm going to say for public release, we'll probably put the footprint back because it kind of annoys me that they're missing. But for now, they're not there. So what am I going to say? Really? If you have this on early release, you have to put them back in. If you get this after, when it's free for everyone on the 8th of June, then you won't have that problem. So yes, this house, I have attempted to use a minimal amount of packs. I'm just gonna open up my tray importer to actually get the full list of packs that I've used. I've tried to keep it to EPs. I've used EPs plus Jungle Adventures. Just Jungle Adventures. Okay, I thought I used Parenthood as well. I'm pretty sure I used Parenthood, so I don't know why it doesn't say that I did. Maybe I deleted something out. Who knows? But I've used Get to Work, Get Together, City Living, Cats and Dogs, Seasons, Get Famous, Jungle Adventures, and apparently the free holiday download thing. So I've used that. The other CC that I've used in this is the kitchen, the bathroom, and a few other bits from myself. So full details of all of the custom content that you're going to require is, of course, as always, going to be in the Tumblr post, which is linked also in the top line, the description. Thank you. Just if you are new to CC, which I think a few of you actually are from discovering Tiny Twavellers, on my download posts, I do list the sets you require to download. They will be linked. I don't list out individual items from each set that's used. I just tell you which set you require. And if you do download using tray files, that does not include the custom contents. You will always need to download custom content separately. I do not package the custom content in with my builds just for the fact that custom content sometimes needs updating, and I don't want to be responsible for you getting dodgy, out of date custom content in your game. Don't want you to come for me, okay? So anyway, back. So I suppose I should explain this build. I was looking for some kind of, I was like, let's go suburban. This wasn't really suburban. This is more farmhousey. I also wasn't expecting it to be black. Let's put it that way. You can see my color palette on like the bottom left hand side. I did a nice little, you know, greys and light tones and all that stuff, and that was my color palette. Yeah, so had a plan. And then I started building and I was like, oh, it looks awful. So you'll see a bit of a jump cut after I've got the shape done of the build. You'll see a jump cut after I first start putting on wallpaper, and suddenly, boom, we have a black farmhouse. To me, it does give me a few Scandi vibes. I feel like maybe this is like Scandinavian style, but done in America, if you get what I mean. There are quite a few farmhouses I've seen, though, that are like all black. They're normally the ones that you see on Pinterest that look super, super fabulous. So it is a possibility. It does give me Scandi vibes, but not actually built in Scandinavia, if you get what I mean. You know, the kind of a Scandinavian interpretation in America. That's what we're going to call it. I'm doing air quotes right now, so I'm apologise. But yeah, it's been a hot minute since I did a speed build or any type of build. Tiny Twavellers came out, and this is the first build I've been able to do with it, so I'm super happy. I've loved seeing all of you guys using it. You've been like tagging me and stuff on Tumblr and Twitter and all that, so thank you. Please keep them coming in. I love seeing what you're doing with them, because I don't get to build with it as much as I would like to. I think that's the one thing about, I suppose, moving over to building and making more custom content means I actually get to build less. You end up spending your time making the objects and not necessarily being able to use them. But it's great that you guys can use them. That's the most important thing, I suppose. But yeah, I was super duper scared before I started building this, because it's been like 7 weeks, maybe even 8 weeks since I built anything. I still have a build like half finished. that was meant to showcase Porto. Porto's now like out for free, by the way, just in case you were wondering. So that build is still to come. That was a renovating Windenburg build. But yeah, I also have plans to what was it? Not this month, last month, Felixander released the London collection, and the items in there, I was like, I need to make my dream home. I don't know if it's going to be a dream house or a dream apartment. I think it might be an apartment, because I really want to focus on the interior and the furnishings and all that kind of stuff, but that's definitely a video that's to come. But yeah, more custom content to be made, more builds to be made. I'm hoping that I get back in the swing of things now. This build did take me 2 days, so I think normally this build would probably would be done in a day, so it took me a little bit longer than usual, but I suppose I just have to get a bit more practice again. But yeah, I started this and I was like, what if I can't build anymore? Like, it's a real thing. What if I've totally lost it and just... I do think, though, when you haven't been building for a long time, it's like the decision making takes a little bit longer than you would like it. So I go back and forth. There's one part of this. I do like a planted what was it? Kind of well, it is a vegetable garden. I do, well, not vegetables, just call it a garden, harvestables, that's it, to the left-hand side at the back, and it must have taken me all of 20 minutes to lay it out, and that footage is completely cut out of the build. Can I just point out like what my first initial idea is here on the screen? Those were the colours I was going for. Then I started putting this black on, and I was like, this could be a thing. And you'll see I cut to it all being finished in a bit when I move on to the landscaping and stuff. But yeah, I took a long time just doing literally a bit of dirt on the floor with a few plants and the glass awning thing that came with Get Together. So I cut all that footage out, so it makes me look very, very decisive and like I actually know what I'm doing, but I never do. It's just start somewhere and just keep on going. That's the advice I'm going to give you for building, is just start. Keep on going, because that's what I did with this. The build, I had inspiration from Pinterest. It looks nothing like this. You would never recognize it. I think it was a floor plan. I didn't use the floor plan at all. I just used it for the outside of the build, and it had no texture to it. It was a floor plan that was just white. Well, a building that was just white. It was just white with outlines of where stuff should be. So I took that as inspiration, but I did actually change the shape a little bit. Actually, quite a bit. I changed the shape. So I always just like to have a starting point so I can refer back to something. But as always, the landscaping, didn't have a clue what I was going to do. I normally start by putting the paths in place, then fill in the areas that I think I want plants. I always put the terrain paint down first before I put the plants. Also, at the moment, there is still the bug that is the bane of my existence. The terrain paint jumps all over the place. If you put plants down, you'll find that your mouse just snaps to the plants instead of staying where you tell it to stay. I can't wait for that bug to be removed. I don't know how long. I swear I don't know how long it's been in there. It's been in there for a long time. Also, items snap to like ceiling lights. That bug needs to be removed. Everything needs to be fixed. Thank you very much. Hopefully that happens in, what was it? There's going to be a patch before Eco Lifestyle comes out, or I almost called it Eco Living. We haven't even touched on that. I've been gone for so long. A pack's been announced. But yeah, hopefully that gets fixed. So I did bring it up. Let's touch on Eco Living. I watched the trailer and I was like, I am hyped. And then everyone was like, it's disgusting. I didn't want this. And I think it's because of that leak. You know, the leak that was Country Living, the fake leak. I've never known there to be a fake leak before, to be quite honest, in The Sims. Whenever you normally see these leaks, they're always normally true. But now we can't even trust the leaks. I'm quite disappointed. So I suppose everyone was excited for Country Living, thinking, you know, we've never seen a fake leak before, so you believed it. And then within 24 hours, it's proved that it was fake. So that was a big disappointment. So I suppose everyone was hyped for Country Living, and then The Sims actually announced that it was Eco Lifestyle, and then, you know, I suppose the disappointment just rolled in. But I am actually, for one, really excited about it. I think it looks like a pack where I can get a lot of build items from. Even if it's not gameplay, which I don't really do gameplay here on, well, I definitely don't do it here on the channel, but I don't do it in my regular life because I just don't have the time. And sometimes, you know, I give myself the day off to do gameplay, and then I sit in front of the computer and I'm like, what the hell do? I don't know how to play this game anymore. But I think there are so many build items in that pack that are going to be like right up my street. The container house, the wallpaper that is coming with that new pack that is a container, it looks so 3D. I've got a hats off whoever created that because it looks so 3D. I have custom content container walls which I can now bin. Thank you. Poof. Kick it to the side. I love it when I can throw out CC. I know I shouldn't be saying this, but I do. I like when I can throw out CC because sometimes I just don't want to make the list of CC. It's not because I don't love CC, which you know I do, but if I could just use all the CC and not have to link it would be great. But I can't do that to you. So I like it when I don't have to use CC, because then I can just say, hey, it's just in-game content, and the gallery tells you what packs it includes, and you can do that for yourself. Basically, I don't like doing it because I'm lazy. Yep, that would be it. But yeah, so I can get rid of my CC. It's a like really old CC as well. It's super, I don't know if, I presume it still works. I haven't used it in ages. If you're looking for a container home, I've done one before which uses the CC, which is all linked and everything like that. It's a container home that I did for my Drifter challenge. Oh, I miss the Drifter challenge. It was my second house 2 of the Drifter challenge. I did a container home. It's here on the channel if you search in my CC builds, well, not my CC builds, my house builds playlist. I do have one of those, which is normally in the top right hand corner. I normally have that information there. Yeah, so I think I did one and it was slightly on the diagonal. I really wanted to do another container home. I had it in my head I was going to do a container home for Strangerville, and now I won't be. Now I'll be doing it for the new, what is it called? Evergreen Harbour. That's the one. I'll be doing a container home for that. I'm sure I'll be one of 5 million people doing container homes, so you'll have plenty of choice. I'm not someone to not do something just because everyone else is, because I think I can kind of do it differently to others. But yeah, just get ready for lots of container homes is all I can say. Not personally for me, I'll probably just end up doing one container home, but from everyone and their mothers will be doing container homes here on YouTube, I'm sure. So I'll be getting early access of Eco Lifestyle, so expect a build as soon as embargo lifts for that one. But yeah, as I said, build items, I'm super looking forward to it. I think the build items from Tiny Living were actually really good. If you notice in Tiny Living, they slim down a lot of the objects. You know, the objects in games are normally kind of chunky. They have slimmed them down so much for Tiny Living. I think primarily because Tiny Living means cramped spaces, and if you have chunky stuff in cramped spaces, it don't look too hot. So I think they did it for that reason. But I can see with this Eco Lifestyle, they have slimmed stuff down. There's like this shelving unit that is made with wood, like wood shelves with metal framework, and the frame looks so slim. To me, it looks almost CC-like. I'm just going to put it out there. Not that I would ever make something that skinny. But yeah, it's verging on too skinny, maybe, possibly. But I feel like that's almost the direction they're going to go for, like The Sims 5. It's going to be the same cartoony, well, the same kind of aesthetic as The Sims 4, but I feel like it's going to be, everything's going to be slimmed down a little bit, and there's going to be that little bit more extra detail. They're still going to use maybe the same technique. This is much my guess. They're still going to use like the same techniques to make the items, but I think there's going to be a bit more detail, which I feel is kind of like what my custom content and the custom content that I enjoy using already has. It's a little bit slimmer. It's not as slim as kind of Alpha CC, where it's 100% true to life. You know, Alpha CC uses real wood textures, all that kind of stuff, but also you'll see the framework is super duper skinny, just like it would be in real life. It's very much like a whatever to one model, you know, it's perfectly in proportion to the real life object. But whereas the Maxis Max content that I use by Felixander is like chunkified a little bit to fit in more with the game. So I think maybe moving forward that The Sims is going to slim it down for The Sims 5 and be slightly closer to real life, but not go that whole way. I really do enjoy the aesthetics and the whole look of The Sims 4. I hated it at first. I've said this many a times. Like after having The Sims 3, when The Sims 4 came out, I said, what is this cartoony mess? But it won me over. It's just, I think this game is so much more stable, and I think I saw on Twitter, SimGuru Grant was someone asked like how much more content there is for The Sims 4, and he said, as far as I know, we've got many more years of content, which actually did surprise me. I thought maybe like this year we'd get an announcement for Sims 5, but I wouldn't think if we have many more years that there's an announcement anytime soon. So I have no extra information on this, by the way. So this is all just my theories of all the time I have on my hands to think too much about this game. Yes, you're welcome. But yeah, so in my time off, direction change. In my time off away from YouTube, I say time off, it wasn't. I was working very hard. Very, very hard. Probably even harder than I normally do for YouTube on custom content. So Tiny Twavellers is, by the way, still on early access. Link down in the description. That's shameless plug. Took us me and Felix, a full month of work. Just for comparison, the other two collabs, more modern, sleek lines, and they took us 3 weeks, maybe. I would say 3 weeks of solid work, or like maybe 2 solid work weeks, and then like a kind of lighter week to start off with. But this one was like flat out from day one, non-stop. I think we started full-time on it on the 7th. I think the 7th of April we started doing it. We did it full-time. I think we took 2 days, grand total of 2 days off for Easter, and just carried on. Literally both of us full-time doing it. So there's just so many extra details that you have to do for kids, and we wanted it to be stylish, obviously, but still be cute. It's for kids, so a little bit more thought needed to go into it to still kind of keep it looking cute, you know. There was, of course, that fear that you're going to do something and it's going to be way too stylish and kind of unaccessible would be the word. Like a little bit intimidating, and like who the hell would make their kid's bedroom like that? But I think we got the balance between cutesy and stylish correct. I hope. I think you'll agree with this. The feedback we've got so far has been very good. I don't think anyone said, I don't like the style. You know, and there's always someone there willing to tell you these things. So I'd say we nailed it. I'm just going to put it out there. I think we did a good job on the look of it. I think in the future, like, I'd love to do another kid set and do a different theme. There are just so many more items. It is a shame that we couldn't do more kind of toy objects, but there's not many toys in base game if you actually look, because we made everything in the set 100% base game compatible. That means you need to have that object already existing in the game in base game. So for example, like the puppet theatre, that's specific to the kids room stuff pack. That is only available with that pack. So if we made a puppet theatre, you'd have to own that pack to do it, and that's probably not something we want to do. We always want to make these as base game compatible as possible. I think the only thing that isn't base game compatible that we've made in sets so far has been the walk-in shower that came with the bathroom, because I specifically wanted that, and I knew that we would need to use Discover University for that. But I think apart from that, everything else we've ever done has been base game compatible, and we want to continue to do that. I think most CC creators do that, unless you're doing recolors of items that are from a particular set. Like for example, my Heritage collection, the first one, was done based on cats and dogs, and I wasn't about to recolor everything and make it all base game compatible for people that didn't have the pack. That would be a little bit cheaty. You know, that much content for free when they really should have bought cats and dogs, I think is not so fair. So But yeah, I that's the reason we had like a play toy. We have the dollhouse because there was a base game version of that. But yeah, there's not that many items. We have a plushie that was based on the unicorn, so we turned it into a zebra. But there are not actually that many items in base game for kids. And of course, there's little things for toddlers to play with. But I think most of the things are actually really good. Like the toys, the playable things, I didn't think we needed to necessarily do things that matched with those. I feel like you can have our items for all the decor bits and a few toys, but also you're always going to use the toddler play blocks. You don't need travel inspired play blocks. Personally, I don't feel like you do. That I think time is well spent on other items. So yeah, hopefully you agree. But Felix was the clutter king when it came to this set. Normally I am chief of clutter, but he was on this one, so lots of the clutter items are done by him, and for some reason I liked big furniture pieces. I don't know what happened, we switched roles on this one, but yeah, so this area here, I haven't talked at all about the interior of this. I've done the kitchen. The downstairs actually ended up a little bit smaller than I expected it. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I'd made the house too big and I shrunk it a little bit, and it's quite small front to back. But there's enough space in here for a living area, plus this little extra side playroom, so I thought that was good. Parents can still be sitting there in the living room and keep an eye on the toddlers and stuff that are in the play area. This house does have 4 bedrooms. The master bedroom, so the parents' bedroom, is downstairs, and then upstairs there is twin toddler bedroom, a little boy's jungle theme bedroom, and a teenage girl's bedroom. The teenage room is my favourite. Actually, or is the little boys? It's a toss up between the boys' jungle bedroom and the teenage bedroom. I'm totally in love with those two. But yeah, so downstairs, the kitchen. I did plan on doing this build where it was just base game plus our CC packs. That was my initial plan, and then I started to do like the black on the exterior, and I was like, there aren't enough textures in base game for me to do this all black and keep it going. So I started adding in seasons, and then I started adding more stuff, and then I lost control. But I've still managed to keep it to EPs plus Jungle Adventures, because Jungle Adventures is the bomb. I'm sorry, but it's great. It has so many amazing stuff, that kind of rustic looking items. The flooring in the kitchen is from Jungle Adventures, and I think that's my favorite tile flooring. We need more tile floorings in the game. Speaking of new floors, have you spotted the flooring that is coming with Eco Lifestyle? It's wooden floor, and it looks very familiar to me. If you've been watching the channel for any bit of time, you'll know that I am obsessed, deeply in love with the floor that comes with Get Famous. It's like a scuff floor. It's called like Cowboy something, I don't know. I feel like it's meant to be like in a Western saloon, but it has scuffs on the floor, but it's like this perfect wooden floor. And the Eco Lifestyle wooden floor is that floor, but in different colours. And I don't care what you say about reusing things. I need that in my life. I shall be getting it as well, but I need it in my life. It's the wooden floor without all the scuffs and in regular wood tones, because the one that comes with Get Famous is in like grey, a yellow wood tone, and this red wood. They've got 2 different red wood tones, and then a dark kind of really cool brown one. So I love it, but you can't use it in every build because those colours are quite specific. So it's going to come in regular wood tones, and I think that may be my favourite thing that's going to come with the new pack. But I haven't got my hands on it. I haven't been able to like fully digest the whole thing. I haven't got to play it yet. So when I do, don't worry, that first build with the pack, I will be detailing my full thoughts, all of my highlights, I'll go in full depth. Just wait. But yeah, that's. I know, like wooden floors. I just love wooden floors, and that get famous flooring in regular colours. Because I'm going to tell you now, I think I mentioned before in one of my voiceovers that if I did recolor it, it would be flat AF. Like it's so multi-tonal the way they've done it in Get Famous, and I love it. But you need the original file to keep that multi-tonal look, and I don't have the original file, so I can't do the multi-tonal look. So yeah, like if I recolored it, it would be more flat, and the whole thing I like about it is that it's multi-tonal and dimensional. So I'm happy they have the original files, they can recolor it and give it to me. I'm happy. But yeah, we're moving on. I'll go back to this build. We're kind of trying to keep it rustic. I definitely wanted to showcase our previous collab, so I knew that the bathroom was going to be used in every single bathroom, and but I wanted this to have like a kind of rustic look. It wasn't going to be dark like the exterior, but I wanted to have it rustic but with modern touches. So I don't think you can have a super duper modern house and use tiny Twavellers. I feel like you need to have some kind of mix of old and new. Definitely works very well in older builds as well, but there's slightly more, I say contemporary rather than modern builds is what I see tiny Twavellers being used in. And I think that the bathroom and the kitchen can be used in that. I think the kitchen is definitely any type of build you can use it in, but the bathroom was slightly more modern. Or if you want to do a super old build and just put brand new modern furniture in, also I subscribe to that channel too. But yes, here we are into one of my favorite rooms. Just a little heads up, as I said, this took me 2 days to do. After the first day, I think I'd done the exterior to the fullest. I started the next day on the interior. Actually, maybe I'd done a little bit of the interior already. I came back, finished all of the downstairs, and I was like, oh god, I'm tired, pooped, I need a break. And of course, emergency times, when one needs a break and you pooped, you go and make a cup of tea. I'm very British in that terms. Went and made myself a cup of tea, sat down, I was like, come on, get myself a little pep talk, let's just get this upstairs done. I was like, oh, I should have done the bedrooms first. The whole point of this build is to showcase this new pack. These rooms are meant to be the best rooms in the whole entire house. I'm such an idiot is what I was saying to myself. Like, I'm totally burned out now. How am I going to do these bedrooms? I was not looking forward to it, but I was like, come on, let's do it. So I started doing this room, and I don't want to sound like I'm blowing my own trumpet, horn, whatever you want to call it. But these bedrooms upstairs were so easy to do, and I kind of shocked myself in how easy it was. I know, like, we make these sets with, I don't know, versatility in mind, and we try and include things with other types of rooms in mind. So we're giving you several different looks that you can get from this pack. But I was just so surprised. I surprised myself at how easy it was to build with all the different items that came with the set. So you'll see that we did the teenagers room there with the clouds on the wall, and then we had it all very white, very tasteful. We also put candles there. I'm just going to say I trust the teenager enough to put candles in. And also, it wouldn't be one of my builds without candles. Come on. Oh, also, Eco Lifestyle comes with burning candles, like different stages of burning. If you'll see, like, there's like some, and you can make them and sell them. And what's the Etsy, the Sims version of Etsy? Plubsy? I don't know. What's it called? It's coming with like the nifty knitting thingy, the community pack. You can sell like your wares on the Sims version of Etsy, and I think you can do the same with the candles that are coming with Eco Lifestyle. So yeah, I'm of course gonna that means in debug we're gonna have like all these candles that I can place now. Oh, I'm so excited. This is gonna be like candle central. Maybe I'll have to do like a special room build which is full of candles. This is so my aesthetic. I'm so excited for the pack, you have no idea. Container homes will be my aesthetic. The candles, yes. And the whole slim down. Oh my god, how did I forget about this? Let me just take a breath. Vertical gardens. I'm sure if you look back at old videos, I've babbled about vertical gardens for like 5 hours. And how I was like obsessed with them and I wanted to make them and they basically weren't possible. There was a vertical garden that came with the bathroom, so I think you get that I love vertical gardens. Yeah, totally obsessed. Vertical gardens all the way. But I just keep babbling about the pack. I don't quite get the backlash that's coming for it. I think maybe people have judged it a little bit too soon. It's only been like a 1 minute trailer. So, and of course I can't fully give you my opinion until I get my hands on it, until I actually look through it, and then I can kind of assess. I think I like doing the whole build first and tell you my opinions rather than doing an overview. It's like an overview is very well and good. You like, this is this item, but once it's not until you actually try and use the items in a build that you really know how good a pack is. So yeah, that's the same thing with like my overview for Tiny Twavellers. I show you every single item, but then I show you what it looks like in an example build, because you can have good items, but if you can't put them together, it's useless. So yes, I did the teenagers. I've totally whizzed through. I think the easiest room to do was probably the boys' bedroom with the tent there. Whizzed through that one. But I loved all of the green in there. I am a fiend for the green. Yeah, so totally obsessed. And then this room, initially I think I planned this room to be a teenager's room, and I was like, I can't have 2 teenagers, let's do toddlers. So this is a toddler twin bedroom. I'm thinking they're twin boy and girl, so I just, you know, we could mix it up, and of course jungle themed, because obviously. And can I just point out that the changing table there, the mat is supposed to go on this left hand side, and I'm just gonna laugh at, just take a moment to appreciate that everyone, I don't know how many reviews I've seen, everyone has tried to put a changing table on the left and the right hand side and join them together in a square, and I'm just going to tell you that's not how you change a child's nappy, okay? There's meant to be a dip at the end and you're meant to change them from the side. I don't know what it is, but everyone really wants to put like 2 of those back to back and have them join in one big square of a mat to fill the space on top, but it's not supposed to. It is meant to be just to the side, and it is decoration anyway. But yeah, that one, from all the reviews we watched, that one always has made me chuckle a little bit. I'm like, how many of you are changing babies? Like, how many of you been around family changing babies? Apparently not a lot. But yeah, anyway, I came down and I put high chairs because I hadn't planned on making this a toddler bedroom. So I had in the toddler high chairs downstairs, and then changed up the colour of the well, what is the changing table up here, but downstairs it's the console table. So I did it as a regular table so you can use it around the home and not just in a nursery or a toddler's room to be a changing table. But anyway, well, this is actually the last room of the build. It's been great to ramble on. I hope you have enjoyed my ramblings aplenty, and I will be back very, very soon. Get ready for the screenshots. Thank you so much for all of the amazing feedback on the set, and I'm sure for all the comments you're about to leave down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back very, very soon. Bye guys.